Welcome back to Tales and Fails Miniatures. Today we will be reviewing the Pathfinder's Battles Adult Adamantine Dragon. This miniature looks pretty sweet, so let's get into it. Alright, let's get this thing open.
Teamwork.
Yes. Alright.
Will you hand me the plastic?
Right off the bat, I'm actually even more excited about it. I did not notice that it had all these metallic style...
The plating?
Plating across its back, its tail, which it almost has like a large mace style tail. And then it's got all these crazy little patches of adamantine across its wings.
Which is actually really cool because that goes with one of its, in my opinion, cooler moves called Abandon Armor, which is where if it starts to get too low or hit too many times, it actually starts dropping these metal pieces so it can become faster and escape, which I think is kind of cool. That's
pretty sweet. I really like it. I'm not a huge fan of the the wing paint job as a whole. It feels very matte compared to for it being a metal dragon of sorts, but it still looks pretty sweet. I think they just went a little too orange with it. It should have been more of a brown.
That's kind of why I was trying to compare it to the picture on the box, is I'm like, I kind of agree. It's actually more fleshy almost even, which is and like leathery, and I don't think that's quite the look they were going for. But again, I love all the detail with the metal. I like his chunky little jaw.
Yeah, his jaw. He's got just a massive jaw on the bottom because his breath weapon is Avalanche Breath, which basically he vomits or belches large boulders, which I just think is awesome because obviously it's not, 5e like I'm used to playing and getting miniatures for. It's Pathfinder, but you can twist that in so many fun ways for D&D, and that's definitely what I'll be using this for.
Oh yeah.
I think this thing is actually cool. I will say for an adult dragon, it definitely fits closer to like the crystal dragon size or the amethyst dragon size, which is kind of nice because, again, since it is a metal-type dragon, it kind of just fits in there with those smaller gem dragons. And it has, like, again, the larger style neck and jaw area like those as well. So I think that's really cool. And I love the spikes on the back of its head. Mm-hmm. It just gives it such a mean look. It almost kind of reminds me of some of the dragons from How to Train Your Dragon.
I was kind of thinking the big horn does kind of remind me of the BBGE from the original How to Train Your Dragon. I also kind of like he's got this little like breastplate thing going on here.
Yeah, that's more stone-esque compared. I wish, honestly, they would have kept it consistent. I wish the claws and the chest piece also would have been adamantine, but...
It's pretty cool, though. Yeah. It is really neat.
The detail is amazing as well. It really does. I really like the... silver on the wings just really draws your attention to it as something odd and a little bit different than normal, which is always fun.
And his tail's kind of fun.
Yeah, and a really crazy looking tail, almost like...
Again, like a mace or like something.
But it's almost like a bone mace. It literally looks like a piece of vertebrae that is metal instead. So that's just, it's a really cool look. I'm excited to add this one to the shelf with the rest of them because I feel like it also fits in pretty nicely with that.
Agreed.
So, and again, they've switched to doing these larger flight plates that are actually see-through. They're two-piece. And I just like how sturdy it is. And again, they're attaching it in more than just one simple little hole in the bottom. They're actually attaching it for a long portion, which again just gives you a lot more structure.
Makes it feel more sturdy.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a cool looking miniature.
I agree. He's really neat. I'm glad, always excited to add a new one to the Dragon collection, and he's a really cool guy to add.
Yeah.
So.
And it burrows quicker than it can actually walk, which is another cool fact about it. It definitely has like the digging style claws, and it looks like something that would be digging through the ground, so it makes a lot of sense. It's got super large paws on it, basically. And I just think that's sweet. Yeah, no, there's a really cool one. I'm excited to add to the collection. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you do, because this thing actually is pretty sweet, and I I would highly recommend it. I think, again, it's something that you don't see very often. It's a little bit different than the normal dragons that you get to see in 5e. And taking stuff out of other games like Pathfinder battles is always fun, because then you can put your own twist on it and kind of do what you want with it to, surprise your players, that especially your veteran players, surprise them a little bit more with stuff they've never seen is always fun. So, But I really enjoy it. Hope you guys enjoy this miniature as much as we do.
Oh, yeah.
And, please do like and subscribe, and we will catch you in the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.